We've seen it time and time again over the last couple of weeks. A number of outlets have had to retract and change and rewrite and make editor's notes to a number of different stories, some of them with major impacts, including moving markets. This is a big problem, and we think it's something that should be taken seriously.
And I would just say, Sarah, that journalists make honest mistakes, and that doesn't make them fake news. But the question that
when journalists make honest mistakes, they should own up to them. Sometimes, and a lot of times you don't. But there's a difference. There's a very big, I'm sorry, I'm not finished. There's a very big difference between making honest mistakes and purposefully misleading the American people, something that happens regularly. You can't say, I'm not done. You cannot say, you cannot say that it's an honest mistake when you're purposely putting out information that you know to be false, or when you're taking information that hasn't been validated, that hasn't been offered any credibility, and that has been continually denied by a number of people, including people with direct knowledge of an instance. This is something that I'm speaking about the number of reports that have taken place over the last couple of weeks. I'm simply stating that there should be a certain level of responsibility in that process.
Wow. That's, of course, Sarah Huckabee Sanders in a sometimes heated exchange with news organizations in the briefing rooms yesterday for errors made in recent stories about President Trump. She said something there about purposefully misleading.
Like the president does? Like every day? What? I mean, my God. How can they keep a straight face in the White House briefing room? I would literally laugh hysterically. How do you even listen to her say those things and not just walk out? At this point, those briefings are useless. Well, she does not say anything that is truthful, and she does not intend to when she walks out there.
They're yelling preach from the back.
No, it's incredible.
So Willie, obviously, there were people in the briefing room that were offended by the suggestion that purposeful mistakes were made. That people are purposely misleading the American people. There is, though, and we've seen it from the very beginning, there is a hostility toward this president, as there was a hostility towards candidate Trump from day one. And I wonder how much of that. I mean, I just don't know that it's. I think the damage between the two sides is probably irreparable.
Yeah, there's no question there's a new aggressiveness that was instituted a couple of years ago when President Trump started to run for office. But look, the last week or so, the press has made a number of embarrassing mistakes. That's just a fact, and it's true. And Sarah Sanders is right about that. But the idea that there are members of the press, the mainstream press, who are purposely misleading. Are there people with biases who work in the media? Of course there are. Does that find its way into some of their reporting sometimes? Of course it does. But the idea that they sit down with the idea of taking false information, which is what she said, knowingly false information, and presenting it to the public as fact is untrue.
Hold on, I'll take this, John. Hold on one second. Because what makes it even worse, what makes it incredibly bad and dangerous, quite frankly, a danger to our republic, is that she's the one protecting a president who does that every day, who watches TV every day and tweets stupidity, lies, conspiracy theories, bullies people. I mean, he tweeted a conspiracy theory about Joe last week that would have made headlines in any other administration. But people are so desensitized to his lies that her role is incredibly important, because her role is to promulgate the lies coming out of this White House. And I think what she is doing is helping damage this republic. I'm sorry.
And
this is where we're at.
John,
actually, I'm not sorry.
So
I stand.
So I'll MIka rests her case, and now I'll just say Sarah Huckabee Sanders would have a stronger argument to make if her boss
didn't lie so much,
did not put out so much false information, whether it was through Twitter or, and again, this is not opinion, it's verifiably false information that goes out, which undercuts her argument, which again would have been a pretty strong argument, a tempered argument about some of the specifics if she just stayed with that.
We have 2 hours and 8 minutes left in the show, and we could spend all of that time listing the number of purposeful lies the president has told in the course of his presidency and as a candidate.
And
so
yes, that he said about people,
so there's
maligning people, defaming people, and she's asked about
it. Did Mika rest her case?
Okay, Mika, you have rested your case. Okay.
I thought you said she rested her case.
Now.
And we're on the same side, but
she finds out a few Democrats are in the crowd, and suddenly she starts preaching.
But so I think there's that, right?